have your own kind of power. So wait in a power. Wait.
Okay, we are live. We are live. Family, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever on a day. And welcome to the program Inside Salon today. Now the Then and Now Media Empire with the broadcast live on Facebook. Me now, host and presenter Mohamed Kamara, popularly known as Supermed. And inside the program today, we get a former government spokesman, Mr. Ajibu Jalloh. But ladies and gentlemen, before I go any further, I want to say today, now Saturday the 2nd of October 2021, welcome to the program Inside Salon today, now the Then and Now Media Empire. And I want to say my guest, Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, when a former government spokesman, now the previous administration of former President Dr. Ernest by Koroma under the APC government, they will be live now the studio. They will be live now. So anytime soon, the interview will begin immediately. So what I want to ask you now, please, we'll now begin share the program so that plenty of we Sierra Leoneans, them, more like most Sierra Leoneans at the social media space, will get the opportunity. Okay, from Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, I know say now a very eloquent speaker, now somebody way now household name in terms of the political wranglings now below country Sierra Leone. Now somebody will be on the talk for government, the previous administration where plenty of una sabi. And I believe say una say most of una question them, una go and put to Mr. Ajibu Jalloh. Then question they all welcome. When I put at the thread, I go pick them up as I go by. I go pose and question they as they go by. So please, ladies and gentlemen, when I begin share the program, as I say, again for be a short, sharp, and succinct program tonight. We'll get Mr. Ajibu Jalloh already with me, and I go ask Mr. Ajibu Jalloh to introduce himself, Gigi Snow. But I just want to open a small thing no more, ladies and gentlemen, before we move any further. We know say we get a by-election today. We're now for council chairman na Kabala Kwenadugu district. We don't hear plenty information, plenty video they don't see, audio them and so on and so forth. We in this platform, the Then and Now Media Empire, will admonish those in authority that the peace, security, and welfare of the people of Sierra Leone now the primary purpose and responsibility of the government of Sierra Leone. This now one of the opening chapters now in 1991 Constitution. So they expect people in authorities, people in governance, for many of all this. You know, it's very important for them to understand, say, democracy is here to stay. Democracy, like a form of government where the power is vested on the people that get the power. Allow the people for many express them power when time reach for express them. If the people want for vote for you, then go vote for you if you deliver what the people they want. But then talk business, violence, intimidation against the people are not correct at all. And we, at this platform, will not go ahead without opining in particular into that topic today. I just say that church and small no more before we go to the interview directly. And like what I said, no more famule, I want to all join me on behalf of the Then and Now Media Empire. Lord, welcome Mr. Ajibu Jalloh. Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, you welcome to the Then and Now Media Empire, sir.
Superman, thank you for having me. Fambu Leone Akushe. I'm a pleasure for Dana Aso and share some of my experiences, my ideas, and hopefully answer some questions they want to get. Yes, like you say, me be former government spokesman, before then director of political and public affairs, national outreach coordinator, political and public affairs, and of course, don't actually take another title just recently. I mean, one of the peace facilitators, them, the people them will be set themselves aside for talk and negotiate between the NRM and the administration for bring about peace. So, yes, I'm a member of the peace facilitators, which chairman Honorable Alikali Amara Kamara, and of course the coordinator Dr. Ibrahim Bangura.
Okay, thank you very much. And once more again, welcome Mr. Ajibu Jalloh to the Then and Now Media Empire. Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, as you don't introduce yourself, people may know you say you're a former government spokesman. And before this interview commences, hope they share the flyer. Then people, one of the key questions I want to put to you is that Why are you so quiet? They not hear from you over the years since when the APC government don't come on na power, where SLPP government don't come, then they give from you. And you not possible be they talk clearly, very eloquent, and they explain issues them, educate and enlighten people them about the political happenings that we country. What's it happen?
I tell Fumble them thank you very much, and I apologize for any shortcomings. But really, I they talk. Usai and call me like where you call me, say you need me for say something, you need me for clear the air, I go candy. Not forget say me I be a government spokesman. As such, they promote, proliferate, propagate, disseminate information about the government, within the government they do, and not be they play the role of propaganda secretary. So therefore, they talk measured, and they talk constructively, and they talk now forum. We invited forum where there for talk. We get plenty other gentlemen them. We get plenty other comrade them where they take on issues every day as and when necessary. And then one day they can play their role in day. We're not short of that at all. But for me, being a professional in the role where they play, one of the talk, that's something way would be announced. That's something where people they expect for me. That's something where I deal with and respond to specific issues and questions. So I do the talk. Just that, not too loosely, not to just outside, but I talk side with and call me, and program like that where we get some amount of integrity to them too.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ajibu Jalloh and family. We will not continue for share the program. Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, a fine speaker, very eloquent and clear somebody, and he's also a patriot because we don't see where they talk for the interest of Sierra Leone. So we welcome her on the platform. We're glad for getting her on the platform today. Most of them don't pose that question. They're waiting. The man himself say Una go be the judge. They go the cinema. We they bring the discussion to Una because here the then and now media empire now the hub of the discussion. They bring the discussion to Una. Una go be the judge in relation to what we guess them they say. And Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, because one make I want go direct to this issue. Now other question is where people always can post to we. The human rights situation that we country Sierra Leone. People then say it's been grossly abused by the current administration. In relation to plenty things them where don't happen in our country. One of the most infamous one, now the massacre at Panemba Road. And we see again, even opposition members them, where they incarcerate them for many years, some few months, and just they left them and without any other serious charge or whatever. And so many examples where people highlight, in terms of the human rights now in country. What do you take in terms of what you don't see, your observation throughout since the inception of this particular administration, the SLPP power government from 2018 to now?
They're right in line with what people they think and what people they see. Certainly, human rights have been abused without measure, and there has not been any repercussion whatsoever, not from the international community who they expect for lift a finger, and not from the civil society the more they expect for cry and holler and raise hell for that. And it almost look like say we not get any side for go fend solace, but indeed like how people then say from the massacre na Fademba Road to the issue na Tumbu to the issue na Losa and to the issue what happened at McKinney will not make no sense whatsoever. Why? What's not be the reason for take arms and shoot young man them? We just want to protect their own interests. Young man them will not get any weapon whatsoever. I mean, the forces were being told that where you go fight war, you for use ammunition, we're equal to your opponent. So if you they go meet people and when are just normal citizens, we don't get no gun, no nothing. Why you for use live bullet? That in and of itself now an indictment. But maybe in due course, we got in Zemgich. I'm quite sure the one that will be at the greatest responsibility go be held responsible for that. But human rights violation, yes, it happened at Sierra Leone, it continue to happen at Sierra Leone.
And again, you highlight one thing, say, you don't know why. Why make you feel, say, the civil societies, them, the other human rights association, them, international community, why are they silent? Why make nobody they raise the issue there so and try for admonish the government and tell them, say, people and rights in a salon is just as equally important as any other thing else in relation to how you govern a country like Sierra Leone?
Superman, I don't know for sure. I can only attribute that to the fact that, within a country where people, them, some way, somehow, they toe the line. They look for their own daily bread. And as such, they believe, say, if they say the right thing and antagonize the government in power, it means for say, then daily bread will be stifled. And then they get a lot to do with the integrity. It gets a lot to do with the whole idea of being a civil society where you're supposed to get voice for the voiceless. And I can only attribute them to that, you know.
Okay, then thank you very much. And Fambu, I will continue for share the program today. We get Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, when I be former government spokesman under the Ernest Koroma government of the APC party. So get them today, get plenty to them for question what I don't post to win. I will try for relate to Mr. Ajibu. And Mr. Ajibu, before we go any further as well, one other thing as well, where many Sierra Leoneans they complain like today, now the bread and butter issue. This is about economy. People they call them bread and butter issue. And this particular administration, the SLPP government, headed by President Madabio, begin now for call the previous administration, say, Angi Boku, people, Tonobono Sidoya, all those sorts of things. But now people they say, but what will be the system from the previous administration, much better as compared to what will they see now, because now the anger even past mark, people are suffering, working all day, and you know, the inflation is past mark, and also they get so many other issues when relate to this bread and butter issue. Why do you think this thing they happen? What did this government do when make this bread and butter issue? Tiranga so per people in a saloon.
Because the government failed for actually pay attention to waiting na the manifesto promises. They fail for pay attention to waiting, in fact, na the problems, them na the ground, so they go take measures for fix them. B, simply because where they come, because of grudge, malice, hate, then sack all man. They sack the people and we get institutional knowledge on the prescription of how the economy be run. You before expect say them for left some of them people in the force until they get a very fine handing over. Get a very fine understanding of waiting at the mantra, waiting at the modus operandi, such that then they will take the baton and continue for on. But when you don't sack all them one and then now, you start from scratch. Then furthermore, you get a government we talk boku. You know, 10 days for talk politics, 10 days for engagement governance. Then talk boku, like how you say rightfully so. Then pull sing, say, too long more no go sit there angry boku. Now the hungry waiting at salon is not good for talk. I mean, just walk around, take a cluster of 10 people there, make 10 cluster of 10 people. I guarantee you, see, in every cluster of 10, 7 go tell you, say, this we gains. We gains, we not get no hope. And when you look at the governmental arrangement, you're able to see clearly who's a mistake they come on. And we not get fine policies them where they make it attractive for foreign direct investment for come. Okay, the taxes are extremely high, and then I turn off. What's the way they can't do business? If they can make a profit. If you find out say if they pay too high a tax and then they make profit, they'll go someplace else. You go Guinea, you go Liberia, you go someplace else. That is happening. The companies that will begin at the country don't close down, either they in administration or don't pack and go. Bringing items into Wataki, you either get new duty or the taxes the way they don't raise them. Well, they want to know favorable to any developing country. Then you look at spending in the country. Spending is totally out of control. One way for look at the wage bill, the total amount of wage bill where we be pay as a government every month for pay salaries, now be 161 billion every month. Today, now 237 plus. I think almost 247 billion a month. And it makes no sense because you try for give jobs to boys. And during the APC administration, I believe so, we get 24 ministries at some point. Today, you get over 30 ministries. You get ministries, them take one like the Ministry of Environment. You take the man where we did it as the executive chairman, you bring Kanka make a minister. When that money they come for can be minister, that salary will be they get, that $9,000 salary will be they get as executive chairman. Hey, Losamu, for can take a 30 million salary. No, it they come with that salary. Okay? Then you take somebody else, you put on there. Now you don't give that salary back to them. You take the minister of basic education. Okay, Usa Ebide, as innovative officer, director of innovation. He gets a huge salary. Where you can make a minister, and then they lost that salary, and maintain that salary. So what are they say? Are they say we not mindful as how we spend government money? We spend a lot more than we make, and then they allow for inefficiency. They also allow for a discombobulation of the economy. Too much money inside the system, inflation, they're out of control. Just the other day, last quarter, they tell we say inflation don't reduce to single digits, now 8.9, sorry, now 8%. It come off from where you go on at home, you go look at just basic commodity prices. The CPI don't go up at least 6%. The price of sugar, the price of rice, the price of basic commodities, pepper, all of those don't rise up minimum 6%. So you start to wonder for say, not only that they don't get the ability for manage the economy, but they give you bad information also. We are in trouble.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ajibu Jalloh. Family, again, Mr. Ajibu Jalloh on the platform to that one. Say thank you very much to Mr. Prince Emil Koroma, Madam Gladys Koroma, Madam Fatima Kont, and so many others. We appreciate that great thing at the platform. And Mr. Ajibu, the other thing we highlight so in terms of the economy, this current administration say, as you as a member of the previous administration, they say the previous administration not be left nothing at the kitty, so they are starting from scratch. Now, they go through all this trouble for bringing the economy to at least to some sort of stability. Now, it make people they face all these kinds of kanganes whether they face. So you as a member of the previous administration, you want to opine into that? Whether the previous administration left nothing at the kitty?
Well, of course. If then they come inside and before they come, they don't complain, they don't make statement them for say we spend money like drunken sailors. They don't talk about things them way not to true. Then it also mean for say other things the way they say not to true. I go tell you for sure, say that's not so true. You know, when lawyer can go to court, if you get hard evidence, they're producing hard evidence. In a situation where hard evidence not there, then you also look at what they call circumstantial evidence. So in this case, me no say hard evidence there, but for the multiplier of people and where they listen, where they out there will not get the opportunity for understand how government they run or which is inside government, then go get for base their assessment based on circumstantial evidence. If in fact that not the case, nothing not be left at the kitty, then explain to me how government's able for buy new vehicles for every government minister. How government's able for move the wage bill, the amount of money they pay government people from 161 billion to 245 million a month. How government able for take minister and salary them and raise them from 13 million to close to 30 million? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, if you did a house and I tell you say money no day, but every day at the couch new clothes, every day I couch new furniture, every day I couch a bigger TV, we'll be getting a 50-inch TV, I go buy a 70-inch TV, I buy new motor. You go believe me if I tell you say money no day in the house?
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
That's a good question in that regard.
Really, you know? So that's not just propaganda, you know, that propaganda. And we beget quite a number of companies them in the country at the time. Okay? And then company they are waiting at the country, they do business for a profit. That profit they then get for repatriate and back to their headquarters. That money they were repatriate, not only use they send go back. That dollar they send go back. Okay? Trust me, if money not be there, will not be get reserved. Then company they for don't close before we come on our office. Then continue for day because money there for make them repatriate. Furthermore, most of them company also manufacturing company they get capital investment where they get for engaging. They get for buy machines them, they get for buy transformer them, they get for buy things them with the fuel every so often. And money need for day for make them get for able for engage in their activity than they. You know, so when we talk about reserve, we talk about reserve in two different sense. Reserve in the sense that we get enough foreign exchange for support we business system within the country for make able for repatriate and profit and also able for engage in capital investment since we need to make nothing as alone. The next thing is now we domestic commodity, we staple food, okay, rest na import to the importer. We suppose forget we be get a cushion where we always get at least 4 months. 4 months, the money were equivalent for 4 months supply. Then they always did. So angry no kind of country. The people then where they actually bring rest camp and bring them commodity the way they import, then get 4 times the amount of down there for 4 months where they don't at all times. So for say money not there the country, don't make sense. If you say money not there the country, then it been for say all the activity will be for be difficult, rest for be short and whatnot and so on. I think that now money on the country because the now price they go up pass mark one because the few money we will get, they don't spend them for all kind of things. And now when people they want for actually chase the dollar, they get for spend a lot more Leone.
Well, Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, people then also ask say, you not be a member of the previous administration, the former APC government. People then go ask say, from the 2007 to 2018, where APC be in governance. What are your assessment of APC in governance in relation to the development of Mama Saloon, in terms of the economic sector, in terms of peace and security, in terms of all the other key sectors and like health, so on and so forth? What's going to be your assessment? How well did APC do, or how well did they not do? If you're able to make them in a nutshell, let family understand, and probably because it don't take a while now since the APC government don't come out in governance, let people understand what the APC be do, as them will able to make up their mind for compare, for see whether if waiting and tell them about APC or waiting this current administration they do now, then go able to make up their mind really compare and contrast between the two. What's your assessment? Waiting, are you saying?
Superman, the APC party by itself gets an ideology. That ideology there, now one way mean for say everybody for it. Everybody for able to survive, everybody forget. So therefore, the mentality, the ideology, the way how the APC all people congregate they operate. Now a party will get tolerance, now a party will get diversity, now a party will get inclusivity. Okay, and furthermore, now party where no they look no boundaries. So therefore, all of the measures they will take, all of hello?
Yeah,
all of the measures what they take now one way now for actually support the less privileged. Make sure say the man where they all the way down na Kampala, the man where they down na Sopit, the man where they down na Susans, they want them they all Dokoti, they actually feel say they are part of the economy and we they do things for support them. Like I rightfully say, now my job for tell people in which government they do. Government be they subsidize fuel. By so doing, we they understand say fuel na a commodity where taxi driver, Okada driver, they want and they already use them in the day. And so therefore, government maker in business for subsidize. Subsidize them in the sense that the taxes where them for pay, governments they forfeit that tax day, and that one they help for maintain or rather cushion the price of fuel. So therefore, when the fuel price fluctuates at the international market, okay, the common man where they use them, no they feel them. Government in they absorb that shock. Now only a government where they think about in people them, one for make sure say in people them life steady. Now they operate and think that way. You talk about safety. Well, I mean, safety, that one day clear. For say during President Koroma in time, 2007 to 2018, we don't get no political prisoner ever. Okay, granted today, they don't abolish the death penalty. Yes, but we don't put a moratorium on the death penalty. And not only that we put a moratorium, we stop that penalty, but he also be then at the legislative agenda, meaning that it be there at the pipeline for let parliament do what in parliament and do so now for finally abolish her. So if we talk about peace, we talk about tranquility, we talk about just decent life enjoyment na Sierra Leone, from 2007 to 2018, Salone is one of the most peaceful countries. Not to me say, this na MCC, this na international community, this na IMF, na everybody else. In fact, then became Sef Kangi, the president at the time, a plaque. I don't forget the name of the organization where Kangi a plaque for the peace, the sustained peace program in the country. Okay, the measures them way Partijan Kaba of blessed memory, they actually they established in terms of institution, in terms of for sustained cohesion. The APC government build on that one day. You get over 300 community radios in that country. You get all kind newspaper. You get 57 newspaper. You get all kind program where if you want for antagonize government, you want for chastise government, you can do them and nobody no go bother you. Quite unlike putting it happen there like today. Then catch you talk against government. It's done for you. Then go burn you, then go shoot you, then go do all kinds of things. So when you talk about peace, it be then at the country. Then you talk about the economy. The economy, the way the APC government under President Koroma be approach. Understand that we want all team. We need all team. And certainly we'll not get the resources for get all team. So it was compartmentalized. The government come with thematical areas, the 4 thematical areas. First, a divide them for say the first 5 years, we go approach them and look at what we call agenda for change. Then the next 5 years, we go approach them and look at what we call agenda for prosperity. And in that agenda for change, we get 4 thematical area where you say we need them here. So now. And then why I go actually enhance our ability for bring about jobs, for bring about businesses, and for bring about the kind of taxes we need for make we do other things. So you see the improvement of light in 100 days, and we continue to improve light. You see the improvement of infrastructure in the one country. Okay, you can come on now on a free tongue, go Conakry in 5 hours, go do business and come right back the same day, no problem. The amount of time we motokabi they get for spend na mechanic shop and not spend that kind of time na mechanic shop anymore. That means for say extra money in your pocket now for do other things. Now, then 199 that the real God and bread and water issue. You can come on now, you drive na Wilkinson Road, na 4-lane highway, Spur Road, 4-lane highway. You can come on now, Botomango and go down to Jue in 18 minutes. So you look at all the infrastructure they did. Then human capital. Human capital, we see the introduction of free healthcare, children under 5, lactating mothers, and pregnant women. We introduced that program there, and now we no more will come on our office, but that would have been extended to a universal healthcare. There, like today, you look at the infant mortality rate, it changed drastically. Usagi be lost 257 per 1,000 bath. That number they reduced all the way to 87 per 1,000 bath. So what I say? I say the steps that we will take actually produced real results. And because we compartmentalize them like nowadays, we're able to foresee clearly what in fact you want to do, what can be measured, and what can be achievable, and something that we time bound. You look at the other infrastructure in terms of the airport. First, we get a facelift of the airport. We come up from the facelift of the airport. Then we decide for establish Mamamai Airport. Where before be centrally located, if that one day be continue, they like today, we get 30,000 jobs in that country. The one day where they bend steel, the one day where they do masonry work, the one day they do carpenter work, the one day where they work stone. All of them work the day before they go on now as I speak. And plane the way be they come out at the west coast. Therefore, they come land yonder. We don't get nothing for doing a salon, but just for drop passenger day and plane the way they come on at the east, go can they like a transit point and pick up then passenger and go. Then taxes and do before they enjoy them. Okay, all of that in our economic progress, economic foresight, who unfortunately this government not get. And you look at the Wataki. The Wataki, we get one of the best keyden in this country, also the deepest keyden in this country. But if we're only able to take 3 boats them at a time, okay, we start a project where for extend now and day for make we will take 3 more additional boats them. Okay, that also means for say, now increase economic activity, now increase job, now increase revenue, we will be able to do other things in the country. So there's quite a number of things, quite a number of achievements that we will make simply because we'll be focused, we'll be compartmentalize them, and we take them one step at a time.
Thank you very much for that very eloquent and succinct response in terms of waiting the previous administration do. Famulem, today we'll get Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, who will be former government spokesman for the previous administration, the previous APC government. So we really appreciate the platform today, and it explained to us something them where plenty arguments getting on social media. People can come up with so many opinions, so many, you know, because opinion are opinion. So man go come up with your own true, all man get your own true, but fact na fact. This man be there in governance, and some of them tell where they highlight so nothing they will say witness and see. And he mentioned like the Mama airport. Now many other things people really disappointed in terms of this current administration, because that was a plan, seal and the deal we don't seal and settle. But for some of these in this administration come, they say they don't want them. And they question about thousands of jobs where for be linked to them, but also thousands of jobs so they are indirectly linked to that particular project. So for plenty.
Superman.
Yes, go ahead,
Superman,
Mr.
if I may add, the cost of Mama Airport, the airport by itself, now be 210 million. Okay, a concessionary loan, a loan where we know for start for pay till after 15 years. That loan day in interest rate that be 0.001%, very minuscule. Okay. The proposed extension of the existing airport cost 264 million. I am saying that for 210 million, we would have had a brand new airport, okay, of current standard, brand new airport, $210 million. The current proposed extension where they go on now at the Lunga International Airport, now $274 million. Now, you don't need to be a rocket scientist for say that no make sense whatsoever. The other ancillary benefits will come around that airport, they cost another $47 million. But that's now the roads, them 5 kilometers of roads, the administrative building them, and all the other half things they will come. So I don't understand for the life of me why somebody got abandoned down. It's simply because now an APC-led project, that APC started project, and go spend more money on something way now an extension no more. Makes no sense.
Mr. Jalloh, you're absolutely right. Now, something we say don't talk now this platform because the question we don't look at the cost analysis. In fact, the employment way for create, but also the indirect employment, because sometimes anyway you employ one person and that person get extended family, he gets people and he gets supply chain, so on and so on. I mean, it's beyond many people, and people were really disappointed, people were confused. It makes no sense. Now be no brainer, and really, but time will tell, and hopefully one day that project will be then go able to resurrect and back. Family Mr. Ajibu Jalloh on the platform today. We're the former government spokesman for the former administration, the Ernest government. And I want to welcome some people on the platform, the likes of Mr. Mohammed, Klojoma, and Musa Kamara, Madam Jennifer Kago, and so many others. And all welcome to the platform. And when I comment, they are all valued and treasured on the platform. Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, I want we look now at the APC party. What is your assessment of the APC party as the main opposition?
I think to say we need to do more as an opposition. We have been tied down with court matters and issues that we get for do with people them they hold and ground and so on and so forth. Maybe they take away from what you for do effectively as an opposition. I also believe say with chairman and leader also get to do more as chairman and leader of a party for begin constructively support the antagonization of the current government, because plenty things the way they do we're not correct, plenty things the way they do we're not right, where we all know, and we can call them out on that constructively. But you want for be sure say when you do you get the right protection. When you do they're not going to hold you responsible, they're not going to ambog you and things of that nature. So as a party, we need for we act together really and start this process of constructively criticizing, okay, this current government. The thing that way they know they do a boku. The thing that we need for do where they know they do a boku. The one the way they do when they're supposed to do a boku. You cannot say Leone, you walk around and so all man tire, all man gains. Life is extremely difficult.
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much for that assessment. And again, today we'll get Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, and Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, when a very eloquent speaker, but it's also very honest and plain. And even in APC party, if something short, it highlights, I mean, we're grateful for that. We'll get to the platform. Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, we know say the APC party just don't do the convention, this long delayed convention, and now it look like say they don't vote for approve the new constitution pending laying it, I mean, for whatever assessment again. So what's in the state of play within the APC at the moment?
Everything there at a standstill. Not forget say we get young men them within the party, the NRM, we lead the reform. And we say after we lost the election, the need for reform the party is something definitely wrong. And quite honestly, if you go World Cup, you lost the World Cup. You're not going to see how to go back to the next World Cup with the same team. You probably want to do an introspective evaluation and make some changes if changes need for be. But certainly you get to do some evaluation. And now in the young man so-called reform, and believe say certain thing then they will be quite clear. We lost election and say they want to make we reform. So therefore, they were part of a 9-man committee where the National Advisory Committee put together for go around and talk to people in the country and find out what in fact we need. And indeed, watching the people them in the country talk quite consistent with waiting them I actually talked before. For say the biggest elephant in that old constitution that selection clause. That selection clause down there in Bogwe. So there was a need for we revisit the constitution and do some changes around that. That change will be start on, but then problem come, we're going to court. We're going to court. The NRM began for carry the party going to court simply because they believe say we not follow administrative officers, they not follow procedure. Then they be also get a need for get a team of moral guarantors then and peace facilitators. And they want they come together and they begin negotiate peace between the NRM and the APC, all in an effort for make the party move forward, make we get all the issues then behind me. They were successful. They were very successful for also get the knack for sign an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. One main thing was the fact that before actually adopt a new constitution, amongst plenty other things then. And they get that Memorandum of Understanding there. And then they also able to get the NRM for pull the matter common accord. But unfortunately, when the NRM then they pull the matter common accord, another group of NRM members them will be the other side outside of the country not be ready for do that at that particular point. They simply because then they get trust issues. The one they were in a salon were quite confident, say, because of the moral guarantors and the peace facilitators, them, their input, them believe in them for say, yes, they are going must make sure, say, what do they ask for, we get them, that democratic fair play. But the one that will be there out of the country, we know they see, vis-a-vis Alfred Peter Conte, not be believe, say, the administration will go through with that. So instead of go back to court and bring about another injunction. With that injunction, the party approached the judge and informed the judge, say, listen, we get a draft constitution where if we actually adopt them, most of them problems shall go away. The judge look at that and decide for vary in order and allow it for go ahead and go adopt the new constitution. That was done September 17, 1819 successfully. So now that constitution day don't hand over to PPRC, where the supervising body, and the PPRC will continue with what they normally do when for Gazette publish for the next 21 days. Now the court matter they come up again on the 6th. On the 6th, they're going to court back and go to say we don't adopt the constitution. So from now to that 10 day, everybody there has to stand still. The injunction still there in effect. The party cannot do anything, cannot get any gathering where they elect administrative members or national officers as such. So we have to stand still.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, for that long but really clarification statement you don't make, at least for APC members, supporters them, and well-wishers them. They will know what's in the party paper, so they wait for the next court case for go see what's in the judge and what's in the judging assessment according to the variation, whether if the party has abide as instructed. But Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, you have been a member of the previous administration. Somebody they ask say, what do you feel saying that the mistake where the previous administration do when they in governance?
Now, just for be clear, you talk about mistake as in the party or mistake as in governance?
As in governance is the person it's care for us, as in governance.
Well, mistake then go boku, really and truly, because they deal with people. The way they deal with people, people are dynamic. People change. 1 + 1 = 2. God save not the changer. And waiting fine today, waiting correct today might not be correct tomorrow. It depends on who they deal with. So therefore, all I go tell the individual say, if you look at the net gains, the totality of the actions that we will take as a government, okay, the positives, then beaucoup past the negatives, certainly over the 11-year period. And me and you don't discuss, we don't name quite a number of things, then a plethora of items, and where they should say their initiative, then they bring about some peace, some economic benefits to the country. Now we don't forget again, say Ebola became engulfed in 2014. So one can say maybe our approach to Ebola was a mistake, but then again, we not be understand. We'll not be getting capacity. We'll not be getting knowledge. We'll not understand how to deal with Ebola. Okay, and maybe sometimes the time where we react was a little too late. But all of that now, if you get the knowledge, if you know how to deal with that, So Ebola come, we see a regression. We see a contraction of the economy. We see USA manufacturing contract by 50%. We see USA agriculture contract by 30%. We see USA vessel and nobody can the country again, plane and nobody come. People then shut them business, then down, they left the country, then go. It was quite devastating. Very, very devastating. And for that, we be able to come together and establish what we call expenditure rationalization, whereby we look at the expenditures, we say, no, we need for cuts down on the expenditures. We probably not be able to do all the things they want to do. Make we just do the essential things them, such that we go forestall any kind of austerity. So we were able to turn the economy around. Also, we be getting economic depression where the GDP contracts by 21 percentage points from positive 14 to whatever that is. We see a turnaround in about 2016-17 of positive 6%. So from negative 14 to 6%, I think to say now a big jump around. If we'll be still there in governance, if we don't go a lot further than that. So for answering question, mistakes then definitely go always there, but the positives then by far surpass the mistake them.
Okay, then thank you once more again, Mr. Jalloh. And again, I just want to make you give me your own assessment of the APC party at the moment in terms of the challenges that they face. How prepared do you think are the APC party for the 2023 general and presidential elections?
Again, I don't want for dumping anybody in spirit. But I have to be very honest. I God forbid, you know, if I can use me own Brian mentor in lingo franca, you can say I want to be brutal. I say I'm going to be brutally honest with you. That Honorable Kemosi say, you know, and for me, if I want to be brutally honest with you, I'm nothing to say with it. We're not ready yet at all. If we not stop them fetia, if we not stop for hold with grounds, if we not stop for say no, this time a position and that's the end of it. If we not try for be a little more unified, if we not try to forgive each other and look at the bigger picture and say, okay, this time me right, but I forgo me right because this right could stop me from make we actually move 5 steps forward. If we not do that, Andy, then it go impede, it go debilate, it go reduce we chances, okay, for actually become triumphant in readiness for the next election. We need for be focused. We need for left the yagba and put the feds behind. If we don't do that, we will not get a lot of time. We're in trouble. We are in trouble.
Okay, thank you once more, Mr. Ajibu Jalloh. And you know, I like so many important things tonight. I believe say people when they watch this program so live and people who go for subsequently watch, I appreciate them greatly because you don't clarify so many things them and you've spoken out honestly, really brutally honestly. And we're glad you forget you on the platform. We're glad for that brutal honesty, the way you don't bring camp. I believe say APC party members and self will appreciate that because you know you have to speak the truth to yourself if for let you prepare yourself going forward. If you just say no, go just combating them, you know, it's not gonna help you anyhow going forward. But Mr. Ajibu, again, the constitution, the delegates they don't go vote for them. Now they wait the other processes pending the court case. But I believe say you say maybe go on get look into that constitution. You think say this constitution where they don't go vote for so go put APC and even for the advantage of Salon put APC in a better position where most APC members then because it's not possible for like you get everybody, but most APC members go appreciate them, accept them, and move forward with them.
Most certainly. Like how you say rightfully so, and not go fix all the problems them way we get right away. But certainly now a movement from a state of inertia. About Superman, like I say, the elephants in the room have been addressed. Where now the selection clause. Today, we don't adopt a constitution, we don't make it clear for say every position in APC will be voted for. Every position will be voted for. Superman, if me want for be flag bearer, you want for be flag bearer, Ajabalki want for be flag bearer. Okay? We all go. We go in front of delegates. The delegates then vote for you. About me, Ajabalki go appreciate the fact for see now you the people they want, and we go accept that. We go accept that. We go don't understand see now we procedure down there. We know them beforehand. See now the modus operandi down there, and we go accept it. So that in and of itself will fix a lot of problems. Another thing inside the constitution. Now, one way you not go hold the same position, okay, for more than 2 terms. For example, you're not chairman of a region. First term, now 3 years. Second term, if you get lucky for winner again, now another 3 years. After that one day, you get to move on to something else. But you not go come back to that same position day. So you not go sit down and establish camp. Because if you establish camp, you're not going to be sustained. You only did it for 2 years, then you get to move on. You know, so then kind of thing, and they actually enhance the issue of democracy. Okay, they actually enhance the feeling of belonging. You know, as they go around, I find out say I fall out of favor with the youth them to a great extent, where they can see me, they want to tell me I do some man say, but not tell them man they I do, simply because of my position previously. Me now one person where I not join NRM, but I subscribe to the fact that we needed to reform our party. That's my opinion, that's my belief. We needed to reform the party. I get a right to that. Okay? I also believe, say, everybody forgets an opportunity for participate. We'll not forget any barrier. APC now all People's Congress. Will not for stop anybody for inside. Can't tell the delegates whatever it is that you want. If the delegates vote you in, then vote for you. Fine, Farabas. If they don't vote you,
on that point, Mr. Jalloh, on that point, what thing are you take on this Sam Sumana and supporter them saga in terms of a membership, non-membership of the APC party? What's your assessment of that, sir?
I believe, say, like I say, why I say anybody, then they including Sam Sumana. Anybody, we need for allow everybody for can register their interest for be whatever they want to be in this party.
But Mr. Jalloh, I mentioned that particular example because Mr. Sam Sumana, former vice president, and young one is different from come as just a member. And they try for come back for many years, state time, so in position will be there as a member of the APC party. But this same constitution now don't say, before you be a flag bearer aspirant and support and say you want to be a flag bearer aspirant, you forget continuous membership of the party for 5 years, uninterrupted and fully paid up. So people are arguing now is that if even you reinstate this man for the fact that he was a member of another party, a leader of another party that was registered and gazetted, that means there is no way you go able to say he don't do 5 years continuously uninterrupted as a party member. So by that, disqualifying him becoming a party flag bearer aspirant. What are you on assessment in terms of audience, those nitty-gritty confusion we don't ensued, and most of his supporters them feel aggrieved, and other people them interpreted it differently. So what are your take on that particular assessment, sir?
Me not a spokesman for Chief Sam Sumana at all. Okay. But waiting important, waiting primordial, waiting cardinal and paramount to this discussion, now the integrity of we party. Okay, we party must maintain integrity. We National Advisory Council must also uphold integrity, and we chairman and leader, where we all love, where we don't protect, where we don't speak for and on behalf, also get an integrity for uphold. If they talk about Sam Sumana specifically, as me understand that, a issue have been dealt with before this new constitution. This new constitution has been adopted. It is not in operation as of yet. It get process for go through before it become operationalized. We still there under the 1995 constitution. After they don't tender them to Political Parties Registration Commission, then go gazette them, they get for daily for 21 days. After all of them period and the 21 days done, before this constitution now replaced the 1995 constitution. If you talk about Chief Sam Sumana, me don't see letter where he writes to the party, they ask for make them reinstate them. Reinstate. You not say at the kind side, say reinstate. Reinstate mean for say, I be there for whatever reason I commodity, I want for be reinstated, come back RBD. And the letter clearly say I want for come back RBD. Okay? I don't see a letter, okay, of July 7, where the National Advisory Council write back to them for say, we don't receive your letter, we don't consider them, and we don't unanimously and unconditionally approve you can't want back from the party. Listen to the functional words here. We don't unanimously, meaning that we all the way there inside here. Unconditionally, meaning that we need to look at no condition. No condition we need to look at. We don't accept you for make you come back as a member of this party as you did before you left. However, since now be at a national delegates conference, now they be expel you. You get for wait for make we go back now a national delegates conference for you come back inside. Well, what in they tell you say? Now they tell you say Sam Sumana ask for make them bring and come back as EBD, regardless of whatever crime you don't commit. Join other party, left the party, interrupted, no interrupted. Then the right back tell and say yes. Regardless of what you do, where right, wrong, or indifferent.
Lost the volume. We don't lost the volume, Mr. Jalloh. Hello, Mr. Jalloh.
Hello?
You're on mute. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. You hear me? Yeah. We don't agree from you, come back. So therefore, but also again they in the hall where they make and clear say if you left the party and a decision have to be taken for you come back now a national delegates conference time for take that decision day. Well, since the constitution no functional and not operable as of now, okay, then I think to say we get an integrity issue, we get for make sure say we uphold within NAC don't tell Chief Samsumana.
Yes, okay. But Mr. Jalloh, on that point, you say you mentioned one thing there for that particular discussion there is that pending an approval from the National Delegates Conference. But unfortunately, this particular conference will come up when a emergency national delegates conference, according to some of the people, one of the legal people them say, the conference only now forgo adopt constitution. So they did not included resolving membership issues. Now, what Samsumana and supporters they say is, if this conference don't pass, the next conference now, maybe we APC get for all, now forgo approve them flag bearer them and national executive, so on and so forth. That means say Samsumana issue not going to be resolved on time for making go be a candidate. Again, that is another option. That's another argument where they in relation to that particular issue there again. How you see the argument there?
And Superman, that argument they hold, it is very much true. That argument they hold. Again, if the legal people and where we rely and depend on say now that direction they will forgo, then we don't have me for argue. I mean, for just follow that direction. But I am saying that we get an integrity for uphold if we National Advisory Council in good faith don't agree say that this they do, they don't approve an action unanimously and unconditionally, they will follow through. When they may want for expel Samsumana, then call for an emergency delegates conference. Okay, I think it was on a Saturday, money very quickly. They can also do that. Okay, provided we court injunction not impede that.
Exactly so, because that will go against the court injunction if we do that. Is that not so?
Very much so.
Yes, thank you very much. And Mr. Ajibu Jalloh and Fambulem, Mr. Ajibu Jalloh is an eloquent speaker. Petro is a true Sierra Leonean, somebody where brutally honest, and they bring the discussion to we from all angles, and we're really grateful today for getting on the platform. We don't enlighten us so many things. Them the arguments like in Bokuna social media, social media will get so many analysts. Them they can find one to get some key stakeholders where they can join we, where they clarify these issues, and we that's what they do now the then and now media empire. Where they bring key stakeholders them where they talk to now, where they address the issue, that we get all the small waiting and call doubts, clarify that doubt and make we move forward. And again, we're grateful for that. Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, we'll come and left on this platform, we'll not ask you for one important thing. This particular administration will go and come in governance. One of the mantra now for fights corruption. But what we don't see since when they don't come into governance, we don't see the 2018 audit report where say almost billion loss. Then 2019. In fact, what we see 2018 and 2019, what we check and back the same audit reports going back during the administration. The previous administration will find out say this administration, the cash money they lost them pass mark by far as compared to the previous. And we don't see so many cases, including a case where they are, let's say, a minister, now the government therefore do with over 40-something thousand bags of rice. That case, they left on Sunday, going to court, nothing will not see. The minister was suspended, was reinstated again. So people are questioning the credibility, the impartiality of the current anti-corruption commissioner. What's your assessment in relation to the fight against corruption vis-a-vis this current administration?
There's no fight against corruption whatsoever. Whatever they put in the manifesto, the halahala where they talk about when it comes to corruption, now some people can call bongo foot, Okay, now nothing but just empty talk. Empty talk. The example them boku, one such, now the one where you talk about so 49,000 bags of rice. That one they just disappear in thin air. Okay, we get a commissioner will be so excited. Okay, be very quick for finish in fact findings and move to indictment. The case and matter was in court. They litigate the matter. Okay, before it stops short and say, you know what, we withdraw the matter. Again, we talk about circumstance and evidence. If you do well by a case, everything is okay. You believe, say you get all the information where you need to get. Okay, the matter they go on. Why for withdraw the matter? On the basis that now a jury trial, but you be want a judge trial. Hey, well, before you actually start the matter, you be not a judge trial. Never proceed in the first place at all. But then again, what's wrong with the jury trial? What's wrong with common people there? Okay, now the country for council don't listen to the case and make their own assessment. They go for tell you, say, the corruption matter in that country today, on one side, they try to look at and for blame the APC. You left that issue there. You come up from down there. You look at corruptions, then where don't happen within the presidency or the president, the first lady in office. Then Daka Tontona. We were there inside government understand how government money they move. Through a budget circulation, where you tender your current expenditure, FDR, okay, then finance allocate money to you. Through an executive clearance, where you need for spend public fund for an activity where they bring benefit to the country, you write directly to the president for your approval for that. Or through what we call a FS letter, where the exigency is so serious that the money get for come on now. So you ask for an FS letter for letting money come Bank of Sierra Leone account to you directly. These are the only ways you for spend government money. The first lady in office, now an extension of the presidency office. But if it is spend huge amount of money, we don't go over a certain threshold, then you get for establish your own administrative arrangement. You get forget I'm an accountant for himself. You get forget I'm a PS, a deputy secretary for himself. Because it is spend a whole lot of money. If you don't do that on day, you, the financial, the secretary to the president, what you do you budget for this year, you be do you budget, you send at 3.1 billion. Okay? But the first lady in office spend 7 billion. The next budget, what you do? You put about 3.1? No. If it indicates that 7, if you bring that 7 million guys now, say put up 10.1. Okay, or even anticipate say if they spend more, you say like make a 12.1. But you choose not for do that. Okay, you the left at 3.1, knowing fully well say year after year, that first lady they spend that same amount of money, even more. So you the bring and come through extra budget. That now way now one day for let the boys thief money. Now way down there for let the boys put money in their pocket. So the corruption, it clear the corruption at daylight robbery, and I mean, you get for be blind or deaf, not for no say the corruption did it. Another thing we all man they talk about, they say when this president they travel with Padiem. I don't understand for the life of me what you mean president they travel with Padiem. Okay? Padiem now an amount of money where they give you, where you go work now a location out of your regular side where they work. If you not free to work, you get for New York for car work, for whatever reason where they can New York, they give you money where for pay for your hotel, pay for your transportation, pay for your feeding. Okay, that money they stabilized. Okay, we'll get on a finance when you and the support that figure they tell you say that $410 for day, hypothetically, $302 for hypothetically. They multiply by the amount of days where they come, then they do some adjustment for inflation and whatnot and so on. Well, when a president they move from point A to point B, everything is paid for. Hotel is paid for, transportation is arranged, security is arranged, everything is paid for. So enough forget per diem. Per diem now for let you pay for what you go use. President they keep money in pockets where they reach, they go to the hotel, they go arrange, negotiate, they pay. No, everything is paid for in advance. What in president they get now small incidental cash where the whole in case of any other problem come, you know, you get for spend that money there. You know, so okay, you them per diem talk here where they say this president they take per diem and they want to say for waiting. Not saying they go pay for himself. Everything has been paid for. So the corruption, I think to say, corruption, pasmak na this government, billions, really. And then they take all man like say all man are daft, all man just fool, which is not the case.
Okay, thank you very much again. Family, we paragraph for this program, and today, like I said, we'll get Ajibu Jalloh, be first-time government spokesman under the APC party. We just been that governance over under the administration of Dr. Ernest by Koroma. Mr. Jalloh, one other thing where Abuan before we wrap up, I want to ask you first before you wrap up. Now about what will be a president. I think when we go to that trip in America, he go make one statement. He say, Salon family will get one picking at school because of in free education now. It is save each of them $500 United States dollars. Where some family them all might be total na they cry say some family they say, but we need to make $500 save. Our president they say $500. What's the assessment of that speech? Maybe the president misspoke. What is all that all about?
I think to say, you know, it's always can remind me of calculus. You know, what will be the study calculus? I mean, I like calculus mechanically, but one particular model they will like what we call local extrema. If you look at something locally, okay, you get one understanding. If you open them boundary then they and look at them, okay, from end to end and open the boundary, then you're able to understand a little better about what's in the happening to X as why they approach this and so on and so forth. I think to say if you don't follow the president, you go find out say then kind mistake here where they make, then kind gaff here where they make them boku. Okay, I can only able for attribute to the fact that they didn't write speech for them, and know they read the speech. If they go read their speech in a public, only for make you find out say some of them here I know they make sense. Okay, if you remember one thing at Parliament when the last Parliament opening where they read speech where they talk about say we don't generate more light in the future now than any other place. At the time we were beginning to look at total darkness. Even the SLPP parliamentarian they all say wow, that they take catch up himself for say what you mean read so. You know, so I think that the same thing now and then, where it go. Although I listened to in speech that UN this time around, I get for tell you, say I commend them greatly. They talk well. The ama, they not be did they be quite conversant with the words, the way they use the vocabulary, and one the way be conversant with. A reader like for say that's something where you read over come off from my heart. But that one way they talk that particular aspect about saving $500 per pikin per household. That's something where somebody write for them, it look like it just go read them, and after I don't read them, I take catch up now. Say, Lord have mercy, this don't make sense at all. Because like how you say rightfully so, for saying you save $500, it means that $500 where you for put other side, they can put them by picking. But now don't put them by the picking again, they can put the other side. Where 70% of the people in Sierra Leone they live under $1 a day. Okay, another 25%, sorry, another 25%, yes. Okay, you go call them average. Then you get the 5% now where you're able to afford them kind of thing where you talk to. For carry them picking going to private school and spend them kind of money and day. So really, when you listen to the speech for himself, I think you're going to say that was very, very, very foolish. It was quite economical of what the truth is.
Absolutely. Thank you once more again, Mr. Jalloh, because again, people say, wait, so if the president mistakes, how will he mistake that particular figure? Because that particular figure, for that speech, now it is fundamental. But the whole speech, waiting to go for God deliver, because that was one of the requirements. Maybe it was deliberate or so on and so forth. But like what you say no more, again, we expect the president will grab more can his speech. He should go variety, advise them, make sure say he conversant with the speech so that the speech will be read smoothly. Because you know, converse with something, even some of the words and they pass you look at 2 to 3 times. For people who know that this you're not speaking, you know that somebody write for you and so on and so forth. And again, we are expecting a lot more and learn a lot better. Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, again, want to you thank you plenty. Like where I say, you know, it's true patriot of fine Sierra Leonean, where Sierra Leone as a country gladly forget you because you know you come and talk to them clearly and you enlighten so many people and clarify so many issues. So we say the platform, we're grateful forget you. But before you go as we effect for roundup now, what will be your advice to the APC party, supporters, members, well-wishers, key stakeholders in terms of preparedness going forward for the 2022 even local council election and 2023 presidential and general elections? And also, what will be your advice to this current administration in terms of bread and butter issue, in terms of peace and security, in terms of getting a national cohesion, and then follow and uphold democracy? You know, so this now double whammy question, and the floor is yours, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I can answer the last one first. You know, at this point, I think to say, well, what I don't go away, don't go away. So this government, for just left the high students, so now, I mean, all them may need for do now for calm and just do waiting right. Follow the agenda we would only build upon waiting President Koroma be established. When we come into office in 2007, blessed cover of blessed memories, okay, be engulfed in bringing peace in the country to a great extent. So the end part of them now, it begin for build institutions then. Then institutions then now they're able to manage governance effectively. When President Koroma come, okay, he not only expand some of the institutions he not only strengthen some of the institutions but he makes sure say they continue to thrive. And that one day now in support in success what you see in the first 5 years. NRA for collect government couple. Okay, the maritime unit, okay, the SLRSA for manage motorcar safety and collect motorcar plates and all lengthy we got for route motorcar, what you call motor vehicle in America, you know, all of those things. Then that's it. For give people a hope such that when they retire, they're able to fall back, able to get some money back in terms of retirement. All of the institution was established by Pakaba, NAXA, National Action for Social Services, for make, you know, we're able to get donor money for help people and for build them small road them, people water them and then kind of thing. All of them things President Koroma maintain and enhance them. This anti-corruption we talk about, do not get any kind of prosecutorial power ever. When they grab and get somebody to identify somebody, they go for one court, go fetch for make them put them case in a docket, get the Attorney General for go prosecute them case for them. Okay, that was competing. But President Koroma come, they give them prosecutorial powers where the anti-corruption self now they go to court and get their own court for themselves. Okay, so because he enhance and understands the government and government in continuity, able to enhance what he be do, so able to see some real success. This government come now for tear down everything where the former government don't do. Much like 2 steps forward, then you can take 5 steps backward for can begin work fast, come back small. I think to say at this point they don't lose a move. They're not able for catch up now again. They don't go totally out of work. With regards to the APC now we all your own party. We all your own party. Me personally speaking, I don't say this a lot, but people don't even know say my grandpa now a founding member of the APC. Dr. Shaka Stevens. In big beginning, daughter, I'm first speaking. Okay? But I know they go around and begin talk like for selling my property. No. But I have a responsibility for make sure say the APC do what's right by the people of Sierra Leone and the APC they in good footing. So therefore, me believe say we for reduce every barrier, make the APC be what it is when an all people's congress and no nation, and no tribe, and no color, and no are you there, are you pocket? Okay, if you get the ability, you get the willpower, make you kind inside. Let us not begin block people there. We cannot do that. Let the APC open up. Make it open up, make the best man tin up. That's I believe say for happen. Certainly, we're not able for appease all man. Certainly, other people can get difference of opinion. Let us appreciate and respect people's opinion as it is. They are party members like you. If you don't understand what side they think or what they think, then listen to them, advise them. Let us start a forum where they talk to people and make them understand why would they do what would they do. So I believe say now that's what happened within the APC because really and truly this government don't campaign for we. Now we need to get ourselves together. Now we need to get we act together. And that cannot happen if we hate ourselves, we form camp against ourselves. You know, the former president, the chairman leader, talk about munku politics. He not call people the munku per se. He say them politics munku. Although I blame himself small, because now he not take the leadership way for take earlier on. We allow them to get to that point. But he was right. That people in politics munku. Okay, with the CEO now, Ajibu want for be president, he gets in camp. Superman want for be president, he gets in camp. Young people, they tear me young people down, pass mark, forgetting that if now you get the leadership tomorrow, you're going to need my own people. But if you don't tear me down completely now, to the extent where we don't turn enemy, Ebo, not lost, you don't lost many people and so. Who's Munku way past that? Then are the Munku politics that. You know, when you come up behind, you go, you the motor car, you company, you go talk one thing to the chairman and leader, but then you come back, you can't do something else. So the politics where they play, now in Munku, not the individual Munku, so to speak, not the politics where they play, now in Munku. So for me, I believe, say, we get to understand, say, that God now they give power. Now we get clear rules as to how you go become a flag bearer. Make we follow their rules, then they and make we understand, say, we all na comrade. Another thing where I believe, say, we need to clear up also before I finish. Now this issue of chairman and leader for life. I agree. I'm all the time people they say we need to make and clear. So if I get an opportunity for kind of a platform, yeah, make and clear. Chairman and leader for life, no day. In no day na APC. People they insist for push that issue. And not to APC people, and they're on the way they out. They insist for push that and they will go tell them, say no. APC na a party will make up of organs. Okay, you get the Women's Congress, you get the Youth Wing, you get the Disabled Wing, you get the Veteran Wing. Then they get executive with the man their own affairs. Every 2 years or so, then they hold conferences where they elect new executives. And then conference they talk about what they want for the party. So in 2015, the Youth Wing they hold a conference that local where then go elect new executive. In that process also, then come with a proposal where now be a resolution at the end of the conference for say, this chairman I don't do so much for we the youth. We want propose for make it be chairman and leader for life. The leadership of the conference accept that proposal, they make them into a resolution. But that an organ of the party. You need for take that to the highest decision-making body when at the National Delegates Conference like the one will come up and so. Now that conference day, now they go accept that one day and ratify them and then it become law. The next convention we'll get after 2015, now the 2017 convention. Then they only have the 2 year, National Delegates Conference, they only have the 3 year. That never came there. That resolution never tendered to the people there, to the delegates there. And the chairman and leader himself no push for make they even tender that. So not to be interest at all. And it not ever come up. So this issue of chairman and leader for life, no day, ever day. The chairman and leader never say it one time and never push it up, say it one time. People are fasting for the talk again and again. It's wrong. This is not just a proposal, a resolution from the conference where the youth they hold in 2015. The youth they were a subsidiary group to the National Delegates Conference. They say that this we want, but it was never tendered in 2017 when will be the next Delegates Conference we'll get. So having said that, I think to say we need for and I think to say Alfred Peter Conte at this point now, given the fact that the MOU where them be signed, where the peace facilities and the moral guarantors them be pushed for make come between the NRM.
But just before you eat that side, I just want to highlight one thing where some possible ask now quickly, because the issue about Alfred Peter Conte. Now, in take the case back in the court, now is copper that MOU day. And that really affect the party because after that MOU, there would have been a convention where all other issue would have been resolved. So basically, other people are saying, even the issue of Sam Sumana and all this, Mr. Alfred Peter Conte do more harm than good in terms of bringing peace to the party, because after the MOU with the NRM, where many people be agree says that MOU was really thorough and the issues were all laid out bare, where the party be done structure this constitution, everything well, if they will be able to go convention, go all that way and call it, all the other issues will have been clearly ironed out. Now, Alfred Peter Conte came in, they snap the APC party another injunction, and now APC has to abide by a court variation where don't make scupper APC for able to do so many things going forward as a party. And now time they beat the party. What's now you take around that particular discussion where somebody just been cancelled before they got no place?
I know they speak for Alfred Conte, I'm not a spokesman at all, okay? But for as long as I don't around all of what's in there happen, Alfred Conte, I understand clearly saying that a matter of trust, that he make a go back na court. Now a matter of trust wherein we, the peace facilitators and the moral guarantors, them, we don't negotiate peace to the extent where in November 2020 an MOU was signed. That MOU day before be the basis from which the NRM for actually pull the matter common court, because that MOU day for be promulgated. Okay. The one they were at the gun, trust the peace facilitators and moral guarantors, and also trust the administration. For say, okay, we believe say with this MOU we wanna go live by him. So because of that, we pull the matter common court. Alfred Conte, when I right, not be believe say, okay, the MOU was sufficient to make them pull the matter common court. At least now me understanding that one. And because if he vehemently opposed to that, he go back and go seek another injunction and bring other things in camp. But that said, but no, don't forget also say this convention will be the talk about the party be don't propose for go convention. And something then if you not talk the two, then you begin to have to, then you not go end the problem. The party be don't decide for go convention for go adopt the same constitution back in 2020, January 9 or so. However, certain things them they way them before do were quite general. A, publish the draft constitution that people, B, publish the names of delegates them we get for go participate. So if anybody get question, they're able for challenge, then delegates, then they none of that was done. So the NRM, of course, approached the party and said, well, no, we have to discuss a little more about this. The party not be get time for she don't discuss secretarial per se, not be get time for she don't discuss. Okay, then one then they go now PPRC. PPRC say we don't write letter to them, they don't respond to it. So they were left with no option because then they believe say some ulterior motive they under this. Why this quick and swift rush to convention where do all them general housekeeping thing for do. So something they would do, oh no. So you know what thing, make we go na court, make we go put an injunction, make we look yourself, koju. Clearly, you understand say that again, like I say, leadership now play a good role in that area there because leadership will be involved and make sure say them party then they were satisfied that nothing they win on the hand game. And indeed, the party not beginning on the hand game. The party be one for Google adopt the same constitution. But like I say, if the leadership play the role way for play, clearly we will adopt that constitution.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jalloh. That is about communication because communication is shared, is symbolic, is interpretive, and transactional. Where communication missing, mistrust they happen, and that was, I think that's something we don't highlight this now. Famulem, when they come to the end of this particular program, we're grateful. Mr. Jalloh don't, give plenty of in time. I just want to acknowledge people like I think Dasuba Conte and so many other new people that were seen at the platform. Abbas Koroma, obviously regular contributors like Delvin Thomas, Jennifer Kagbo, and so many other people at the platform. I'm not going to mention our own name and when I comment saying when our constant support to this platform is always welcome. When I watch out for subsequent program that they come, when I look out for flyers them. And again, I want to when I say, well, YouTube page there, please when I subscribe so that we're going to see all the interviews we don't do on this platform. We don't do lots and lots of interviews. We'll be do a serialization, we don't talk to the former flag bearer aspirant, Samura Kamara, Honorable Petito, Honorable Kemosise, Honorable, so many of them. You know, all of those people, we don't talk so many stakeholders at this platform. When I go on our YouTube page, I go see all the interviews in there, and also when I like we Facebook page and so on and so forth. And again,
Madam Jennifer Kagbo, a member of the Peace Facilitation and the Moral Guarantors. Now also a member of Planet. Now very strong woman who come from peace business at this party. So shout out to her. Yes.
Okay, then, thank you very much, and Madam Jennifer Kagbo. We're grateful for get you now the platform for watch and can support the platform as well. And you from we outstanding and eloquent guests so get you. They will return and thank you plenty. And we return all thank you plenty. Thank you very much. Mr. Jalloh, maybe you get a minute or more for say hi to Famulem and thank you to Famulem and goodbye to Famulem. Over to you, sir.
Well, Mike, I tell you, thank you very much for the opportunity. I also say thank you to the producer, my sister, Madam Fatima, of course, everybody with the opportunity for listening to this. I say thank you now very much. Like we say, in the struggles of APC, there's victory for us all. We might have difference of opinion, but make we able to forgive ourselves, make we able to look at the bigger picture, and the country, the yarn for APC, we can continue the developmental role we will be don't take, we can continue the process of making sure that everybody, they go sleep in peace. And it only takes we to get we act together to make that happen. So at the big old man, make we put we market them behind, we back, make we put we hands them now we side and pray to God and do the right thing for make APC come back in our office 2023.
Okay, then on that final note, Famule Mansona, thank you plenty. I want to tell my guest today, Mr. Ajibu Jalloh, plenty, thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you all, and God bless your beautiful country, Sierra Leone.